What's going on, you guys? It's K Doing Trades. Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the basics of risk management and why it's a key part in being a profitable long-term trader. So obviously, first things first, you always want to set a stop loss. Pretty common sense, but reason being is so you don't lose more than your permitted ask. So you don't want to be losing more than you want to. This is the reason for stop loss. Now, the reason why managing your risk is so important is, let's say for an example, you have a 50K evaluation account and you're up 52K. You're 1,000 away from your profit target to become funded. If you don't have the proper risk management, you can lose that 2,000 in one single trade. Next thing I want to get into is contract sizing. Now, there is a big difference between minis and micros. You want to make sure, according to what you can properly risk, that you are trading the right contracts. For example, if you're in drawdown, I would recommend trading micros. Build up a little bit more of that buffer so you could get back into trading minis on your account. If you were to trade minis in drawdown, that one single loss can take you out completely. The next thing I want to talk about in this video is what is the golden risk to reward ratio. Now, as you can see here, we have a chart. Now, typically a lot of traders like to go for 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 risk to reward trades. Now, this I beg to differ. You typically want to be going for 1-to-2 or 1-to-3 trades, and here's why. If you have a smaller win rate at about, let's say, 40%, but your risk to reward ratio is a 1-to-3 on average, you are going to be a profitable trader. As opposed to if you had a 50% win rate with 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you would just be a break-even trader. Now, this is very important. Make sure to take your notes. With having a higher RR, or risk to reward, you can effectively lose more trades and still be profitable at the same time. Now, to get even deeper into the basics, for an example, if I was to be looking at my trading panel on TradingView and I'm about to place a long position, if I see that my take profit tick level is 100 ticks away, and the same thing for my stop loss, pretty common sense, but that's an easy 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Now, if I was to drop it to a 50 tick stop loss to a 100 tick take profit, that would be a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. Whenever I get a signal from my trading algorithm, it sets me up for success because it lists out the stop loss right before the low of the previous candle. Obviously, there's a little bit of breathing room, but this allows for a nice, juicy 1-to-3 RR. I cannot stress this enough. The fact that risk management is the most important thing to trading. If you can't get this one simple step down, you will never be a profitable trader. Now, for example, if you have a lot of buffer, let's say you just passed your Top Step account, your 50K, you're sitting on 2K of a buffer on your Express account. Now is the time that you can maybe place 1-to-2 mini contracts depending on the RR and the position of your trade. You should only trade what you can afford to lose. It sounds like such a basic thing, but 90% of traders will never understand this concept, and is the reason why the statistic is 99% of traders that pick up the charts end up unprofitable. This was a pretty short video today, just going over risk management. It's a pretty simple concept to grasp your brain around, but at the same time, it's complex enough to where a lot of traders just can't get it. Now, last but not least is account sizing. You might be wondering, how much of my 50K, 100K account should I be trading? Now, Typically the golden number is between 1 and 3%. I would say 70 to 80% of your trades should be 1% of your account size, no more and no less. Now, anything under 1% is kind of pointless. Now, if you have a golden signal or the perfect setup and you have the most conviction in it, and in your eyes it's an A+ setup and you have multiple confluences to confirm that, you could go maybe 2-3% depending on what your buffer is. If you've got some buffer, you could go a little bit higher, like 3%. Now, I typically stay under 3%, usually 2 to 2.5% per trade, depending on the setup and what I think is right. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. As always, stay tuned for some more banger content. I'm going to be producing some more videos here soon, so stay tuned for those, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.